Anybody want 20 grand? I know I do. This is DFS Up North from DFS Army, and I'm here with the Thrive Fantasy Prop Playbook, where I'm going to give you my favorite props on the Week 6 main slate contest, with the winner taking home 20 G's, baby. Let's go. What up, everybody? It's your boy, DFS Up North, aka Josh Thomas, here with another Thrive Fantasy Prop Playbook brought to you by DFS Army. What is Thrive Fantasy, you might be asking? Well, it's only my favorite prop site on the internet. You know, there's a bunch of other sites, but I love Thrive Fantasy because it is built in a contest. Not only do you got to pick the right props, you got to pick the right combination. There's a lot of strategy involved. It's not just saying, yeah, you know, Aaron Rodgers is going to throw for more than 270 yards. What's the amount of points you get for the over? What's the amount of points you get for the under? It's so fun. They got great prize pools. There's overlay like every week. They're just giving out money over there, right? And you know who else is giving out money? Me, right? So you can use the code UpNorth right now if you are a first-time Thrive Fantasy depositor and get a match up to $200. So you put $200 in, they give you $200. Your bank account looking like $400 right now, right? Not only that, you do that $200, you're going to get 2 free contest tickets to this main contest that I'm talking about right here on Thrive Fantasy. It is an unreal deal. Let me get it up here. I got to show you guys this because, like I said, I think there's a big edge this week over on Thrive on the main slate contest, and I am excited to get to it. So they got all sorts of other sports. They got other contests too. They got TDs only. Versus you can play up heads up against somebody. Versus where you're picking between two guys, one's handicapped. If you want to go back and this podcast, you can see the Thrive Fantasy podcast I did last week where I broke it down on all of the different contest types here. But let's go to this. This is the Week 6 main slate contest. 100K guaranteed, 20K to first. Prize payouts, 20K to first, 10K to second, third gets 5,000, all the way down to 30, for all the way down to 10,000th place, which is pretty impressive, right? So you're getting a little bit of money back on your $25 entry fee. And what you are doing basically, right, is you're going to pick 10 props. There's all these props on the side here. You're going to pick over or under on all of them. And each one, like I said, gives you some points. So like we got Aaron Rodgers, 232.5 passing yards. The over, the more, is 95 points. The low under is 105. So about 100 is 50-50 on the prop. The more points you get, the less likely it is to happen. But sometimes you got to take a little bit of that risk here. All right. So I'm going to talk about a couple of my favorite props here. Let me get it up. And what we're going to use to help determine if this is a good prop or not is the DFS Army Research Station. All right. This is something that DFS Army VIPs use to get, they can do all of their research. We got everything in here. We got ownership, we got Vegas lines, our weekly projections, the stats so far in 2022, what the defense is allowed in 2022. We get offensive and defensive average. There is a ton of info in here, and it's super easy to use. So let's talk about some of these props, baby. So that first one that we go back to, let's see, Aaron Rodgers. All right. I'm a big fan of this prop. 232.5 total passing yards against the Jets, right? We know that the Jets are not a great team this year. I do love Zach Wilson in this matchup, but that's for like DFS. Let's take a look here. So I am pretty heavily on the over here for Rodgers at 232.5. Let's see what the research station has. So we got Aaron Rodgers right here. If we scroll over, we got Aaron Rodgers. You can see it there on the screen, 248.6 in the projected pass yards. And we go back at only 232, we're getting 16 yards. And if you want to even double check that against Vegas props, slam dunk play, right? So if you're building a lineup, like really, I'm showing you this Rodgers one first because it's one of the easiest, I think, to pick in this game. 232 yards. Like, Rodgers is going to hit that. He's hit that almost every single game this year. I have no doubt that we are going to see Aaron Rodgers get over 232.5 passing yards. If he doesn't, it's probably good for me in DFS because I am all over Aaron Jones this week as well. But let's scroll down here. The next one that I really like is the Jamar Chase over 70.5 total yards. All right. We again go back to that research station, right? All that information that you need is right here. I go to the bottom, I click on wide receiver. We slide into, where's my boy here? Jamar Chase. There we go. The opponents in 2022. Let's see that first, actually. Let's see what the Saints are allowing to other fantasy receivers, right? So they're allowing 12 receptions, only 177 receiving yards on the year, which isn't great, right? But not bad either. Let's see, 2022 stats. We are averaging 68 receiving yards a game, so that's about that 70, and we are projecting him for 73.4. All right, getting 100 points. We're a little bit over on the Jamar Chase total here, so I'm kind of in on this. If I remember right, let me look here. I want to say that Vegas has got, nope, we got the over here too. Let's go. I love Jamar Chase on that over for 100 points. Now, let's find one that's maybe a little bit sneaky. And if we go down here, Marquis Brown has been the number one wide receiver for the Cardinals all year. We go to his prop, 69.2. The number here is 64.5. We got 5 yards. Let's go. All right. So I love that one. This Mahomes line is way too low. 288.5. I'm giving you guys a lot of overs here. I'm going to give you an under here in a second. 38.5. Let's go to 288.5. Let's go to Mahomes. Let's see what we got Mahomes for here. Ooh, 281.4. All right. So maybe the under, but again, it's about, hey, what are we envisioning, right? What are we envisioning this game to look like? And in my head, yes, they're at home, but I'm envisioning that the Chiefs are going to be down, right? And that if they are down, what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to pass the ball. So even though we're a little bit low here, I don't mind the over, because not only of the game scenario that I'm thinking of, but also that extra points, right? That 115. It'll come down to 5 to 10 points between 20,000 and 10,000. And that 5 to 10 points can be a big deal. Now, the other thing that you can do here on Thrive is you can pair things, right? So in this scenario, we're assuming that Patrick Mahomes is going to smash, right? So we're going to take the over on 114 or 115. But we also, if he's smashing, it's unlikely that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is doing much. So we can get 125 points on the Clyde Edwards-Helaire under. Let's see what we're projecting him for. And I love, kind of pairing those scenarios together based on what we think is going to happen. We're projecting him for 46, but here's the deal. I get it. You got to take those risks sometimes. But and the other thing is that we saw it last week when the Chiefs were down against the Raiders. Who did they go to? They went to Jet McKinnon, right? Jet McKinnon was the guy. He was explosive. They couldn't tackle him. He was catching passes out of the backfield, and Edwards-Helaire looked pretty mediocre last week. He might get to 38.5 just on volume alone, but especially if the Bills come out hot and rolling, I love it. I love that. And you could also tie this into Josh Allen. Right now, the line for him is about 2 and 0 interceptions. So while everybody thinks this game's going to shoot out, he's going to throw more than 2. Vegas and our projections say that Allen should be the under. So I'm like, here's the deal. I'm giving you guys 6. There's only 4 picks that you have left to go. The other thing I want to talk about, though, is let's say, okay, Tyler Lockett. This is the perfect example this week because Lockett popped up on the injury report with a hamstring, middle of the week hamstring, typically not a good sign. So if you were going to play the Tyler Lockett, 6.5 total receptions, you said, yep, he's going to go under that against Arizona. Geno Smith's going to maybe struggle for the first time all year, although he looked like he a rock star last week. But let's say you go the under here, and let's say that's a 3:05 game. This contest locks at noon Central Time. So if we get there and all of a sudden Lockett doesn't play and he's out, he's questionable, he goes out late in the game or early before the game starts, then what you would do is you get your ice prop in case of emergency prop. So what that is you pick your 10 and then you pick 2 more. All right. So if Lockett goes out, now you just, that ice prop slides in. Now, maybe the trick here is that Lockett, if you take the under, if he steps on the field, he plays a snap, that counts as him playing. So let's say he goes out there, he plays 1 snap, kind of like T. Higgins the other week, and we got the under here. Too bad, so sad. We get the points, right? Lockett goes out. Same thing for like a quarterback. We see quarterbacks and running backs hurt all the time. If you take the less than a half a touchdown on Chubb and he gets hurt on the first play, Too bad, so sad, right? You get it. So again, I love playing on Thrive. It is super fun. You can use that code UpNorth. That gets you a deposit match. That gets you those free tickets. And help a brother out here. You can find me and all my content at DFSArmy.com. You can find me on Twitter at DFSUpNorth. Hit me up. Tell me which prop's your favorite in the comments here. Give me a like. Give us DFS Army a subscribe so you get access to all these videos all the time. Let's go. I want to see one of our subscribers. I want to see one of our commenters or one of you guys watching take home that 20K. Because if it ain't me, I want it to be you. Cheers, everybody. Have a great weekend.